morning, viewers, and welcome to your number one breakfast show on television, and that is Inside Nigeria. My name is Winifred Webo, and it's my pleasure to be hosting you on today's program. It's Thursday, and as usual, we have a Thursday guest. He is a political scientist and also a public affairs analyst, Olamileko Adepola. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
How was your holiday?
Very nice.
Welcome back. So we are back to the business of the day, and as usual, we have about five papers for review and discussion this Thursday, April 13, 2023. And of course, as usual, on the program we are starting with Nigeria's most influential newspaper, Leadership. Leadership is looking with a story on banditry. Its cover story says, amid renewed attacks, villagers mobilize, kill 50 bandits in self-defense. Amid renewed attacks, villagers mobilize, kill 50 bandits in self-defense. As terrorists kill 20, abduct 32 in Niger, Kaduna. We abandon the bodies in Kainji National Park. Amid renewed attacks, villagers mobilize, kill 50 bandits in self-defense. This is, at least it's cheering, don't you think so?
It's cheering. Our hope is that the people should be able to sustain this kind of self-mobilization for themselves.
Okay. So that is the leading story on leadership. And leadership also has carries pictures of the building collapse that took place at Banana Island yesterday in Lagos. Because his rescue work is ongoing. It's a seven-story building that actually collapsed in Lagos, Banana Island. And of course, they are saying that they were not aware. And one begins to wonder that where were they? The building itself is not something hidden. It's not a secret. You see one floor because they said it was not approved. First floor, second floor, and it's going like that. At the end of the day, it's still the same old story that we keep hearing of building collapse every day. And up now, we are not yet told of the casualties, if at all there are any. Anyway, let's go over to other stories on leadership. Leadership says, Atiku PDP's petition meaningless, APC test tribunal. Atiku PDP's petition meaningless, APC test tribunal. And on business news, we have focus on tax, reduce debts. IMF tells Nigerian government. Focus on tax, reduce debts. IMF tells Nigerian government. Above the masthead has the story of how Obi was questioned, detained at Heathrow Airport. And INEC says we are ready for Adamawa Kebbi rerun polls. We are ready for Adamawa Kebbi rerun polls. INEC. Still on leadership news, I will go over to the editorial page of the paper, and that is our stand, page 3. Our stand is on the exodus of Nigerian doctors. Exodus of Nigerian doctors. For more on the editorial, I can also log on to the website of leadership, www.leadership.ng. And on the back column, we have the Thursday column with Shaibu Gimi. Says why the renewed attacks. Why the renewed attacks is what many Nigerians are also wondering, because we saw that after this cash policy was suspended December 31st, the attacks came
Haywire.
Maybe because there's cash now.
Exactly, there's cash, and also the level of security around the country in terms of the way security agencies have been manning all corners of the country has been reduced as election.
Okay. So leadership, I just want us to talk about these like we are talking about attacks now, villagers mobilized. Why are we having the renewed onslaught of banditry activities in Nigeria now?
I think
because prior to the election, there was a law. Nothing. People were even happy that this is the advantage of this cash policy. Maybe we have put a stop to it or cut it briefly. But now we are seeing it's like as if they are on rampage.
Exactly. But first and foremost, let me quickly admit that first, the bandits, they're also hungry. They need money. They're also in search for food and also in search of shelter. That's number one key aspect of it, because they are human. Then another issue is that, when the cashless policy was in process, most of the people doesn't have much cash with them. And again, it was aimed that we are going to be spending the new Naira note, which was in much scarcity. All of a sudden, government have reversed the policy as a result of the court ruling, and now the old Naira note is in circulation. So what the bandit are
But I also
thinking-
want to also add that this old naira note that is in circulation, they say it's in circulation, but it's still not really in circulation that much because we still have some banks that are not disposing the old naira notes, neither are also disposing the new naira note.
And
The banks are, I just don't want to call names
you know one thing
as we
about
speak.
exactly. You know, for the bandits, that is not their business. Their business is that once someone is kidnapped, when they ransack a particular building, they ask them for whatever currency they have, they should bring it out. Even if it's coin, they must bring it out. And as I said earlier, not just cash they are looking for, they're also looking for food. They're also looking for material, even including medical material to treat their wounded friends and colleagues. So these are the things that have prompted the particular resurgence of the attack in our villages. And as I said earlier also that at this point in time, there is no much election apart from the one election that's taking place.
Just in place.
The security architecture that was put in place before election and during the election and just few weeks after the election, it's like it has been made to be relaxed. So the bandits now have the opportunity, they now have the information to go into villages and to go into areas where they can now have soft targets and attack them. And that's why we are witnessing the renewed attack. But we just hope that from the report of leadership that villagers are also mobilizing themselves by using their local knowledge and local understanding, and including local weapons to fight back. And as if there is result for them, because the more they fight back, the more they see the
we've seen
resistance.
situations whereby some villagers have also actually done, acted in self-defense before, and these bandits will come back again, mobilize in full force,
exactly.
and just wipe out
That's why I said that I would just hope it to be a sustained one. But to make it sustained, is for them to also collaborate with
and we also saw situation whereby even in states like Sokoto where they form vigilante, but the governors and of those states disbanded the vigilantes.
You know, it depends on the interest. Exactly, it depends on the interest of the government. You know, they have Nigerian vigilante group, which most of the states always work with. Then each village can also set up their own personal vigilante group. And the fear of some of those governors that those vigilante groups they form could be used as a means of ethnic clandestine activities among the village, whereby a village can attack the other village as a result of minor ethnic sentiment issues. And that's why they normally disband such. You can see what happened over the weekend in Sokoto, whereby the two ethnic groups were fighting as a result of minor issues that doesn't call. And because of such incidents, governors may take it upon them and say, okay, we don't want this local vigilante they are grouping. Rather, let it be the one that officially it is known. That is the VGN Vigilante Group of Nigeria, the most state governments normally support and give opportunity to secure some villages and some surrounding of the state as expected. But what the villagers are doing, they are now mobilizing on their own as a means of safeguarding their own territory against bandits. But the sustainability is the key, because if they can't sustain it, that means it will just be a wasted effort.
Yes, that's my thought too. And also another thought too that is there is that we have just about 44, 45 days to the exit of this present administration, and there is on security issues. Now, few years ago, is it up to 2-3 years now, the UAE listed some names of sponsors of terrorism in Nigeria, and just few months to the exit of this administration, as this administration wants to close, the federal government has not named those terrorists. No financiers of terrorists.
Although they will tell you for those of us that are expecting them to.
And except for this last year, the fight against terrorism was actually like as Sheikh Sani said, using deodorant.
Exactly. And for them, for the government, on the part of the government.
And the government is winding down to a close.
On the part of the government, those of us are expecting them to name people. But on the part of the government, they feel that they have done in a sense that they said they arrested over 300 people that went through profiling, and they reduced them to about 100 of them that are still facing court.
But they didn't tell us that what they did. They just said they are arrested.
But even those ones that they arrested were not actually the ones that you
exactly.
The question now is that has the government be able to identify those sort of people? Are they in Nigeria or are they still?
Nobody heard anything about it. If anything, the federal government was so focused on IPOB, and when he gave an interview, the president gave interview to Bloomberg magazine, and its focus was still on IPOB. And many people were wondering that you are looking at least Boko Haram was listed as one of the deadliest
terrorist group in the world.
terrorist group in the world. You are not talking about it, and you are just focused on a secessionist group IPOB.
Although maybe from his own perspective, he believes that the Boko Haram is technically defeated. Although we know that Boko Haram is still around. Technically, when is it technically? You
Because there
understand?
was a story that the Sunday Punch carried just a few months ago, and he said that, and that was even then officially, and it was even an official estimate that about 52 or 53,000 Nigerians have died, or plus have died over under this administration. And of course, the federal government kept or was silent or pretended not to have seen the report.
But the point you have made is that those lists and the names, are they Nigerians that can be arrested within Nigerian territory, or they are Nigerians, or they are outside Nigeria? Because there's one thing to make the list, and there's one thing for the government to act.
You know, they made the list, and the federal government did not even respond to it. It pretended as if nothing, and we only heard a denial from one who said he only bears the same name.
But it's not the right.
Yes,
but what is expected from such government is that why do to do a further investigation on those lists?
Because my worries is that why I'm so particular about this issue is that because if care is not taken, not really not care, but you just have just less than 2 months to go, about 40 something days. The next administration is also going to spend its time fighting terrorism, and you know this administration budgeted billions of naira to tackle it. And then nothing came out of it, and twilight to his exit, there's resurgence of terrorism, and the next administration will spend at least 4 years
still fighting insecurity. But what we are hoping and believing that the next administration will do is that it will look at security as a prioritized aspect of ensuring that it will touch every aspect of it all. Just like you brought up a list, there should be an investigation.
It's not that you are shielding the people that involved. So how are you not going to get rid of it?
That's what I'm saying. That we hope the next administration will not do the same thing by shading people or by looking at the other side and closing eyes to the other side. We are going to look at it thoroughly, strategically, and look at the issue of insecurity in Nigeria, because that insecurity has made government to money that have been used for developmental purpose have been expended on reconstruction, on military hardware, and other things that have not even given us the best of results in terms of fighting insecurity in the country. But for me, I will expect that the new government will look at it from another angle, not just alternative as being proposed by the current government, but total solution to security in Nigeria. And that total solution to security means that every name that have been penciled down to be a sponsor with financial authorities, that person must be brought in to book or bring in for questioning and for further deepening to understand their role in insecurity in Nigeria. Not to just close eyes to one part and begin to focus on the other. Because as from what we are looking at right now, is that the government is just looking at the one that interests them more.
Yes.
The other one, they dump it aside. But we don't expect the new government to look like that. And we just hope that it can do the right thing at the right time. And in real time, as expected.
Thank you so much for that, because one is baffled. Like just on Sunday, Catholic Church, they just resumed after the massacre in that state, whereby over 50 were killed. And up till now, the perpetrators have not been brought to book. What happened to our rule of law? Because many people have the opinion that because the law is so lax, that is what has given rise to these criminal activities and banditry in the country. Because at the end of the day, even when these perpetrators are caught, nothing is done about it. And in some cases, we hear reports that they are let go after a while.
Exactly, because the issue is this: the law that work around the Terrorist Act as expected is that the one that would make it more stronger is the death penalty. Yes. Many people are opposed to it. That's why in the clause that was supposed to feature that particular one, rather than death penalty, they talk about many hundreds of years of sentences. And that's what defeated. In the US, a terrorist, once they are caught, there's a big punishment of death penalty. Another development plan. But here in Nigeria, we say, okay, because of Amnesty International is against death penalty, we should not be committing death penalty to criminals because we don't know because they are human, whatever. But the key message still remains that even the law process, the judicial process of taking care of this particular case is also done in a way that people don't even like the our case now. The guys that were arrested, about 7 of them, the case is on trial. But because of the technicality of going to court, doing this, and not being able to get enough evidence to know them, the case is still being dragged. like a snail slope, and that's what is happening.
It's really, really sad. Anyway, let's move forward. We have other papers to discuss on, and that is let's talk about this day. This day has still has a issue of this election petition issue at the tribunal, and it deals with the story Tinubu U.S. court order of $460,000 for future against me not enforceable. Tinubu U.S. court order of $460,000 for future against me not enforceable. Says order was never registered in any Nigerian court. APC joins INEC, urges panel to dismiss Atiku PDP's petitions. President-elect's media team meets foreign press in US, dismisses rigging claims. Tinubu U.S. court order of $460,000 for future against me not enforceable. Says order was never registered in any Nigerian court. APC joins INEC, urges panel to dismiss Atiku PDP's petitions. President-elect's media team meets foreign press in US, dismisses rigging claims. And of course, it's also the same story on The Nation. The Nation newspaper is leading with Obi lacks right to contest my victory. Tinubu tells tribunal. Obi lacks right to contest my victory. Tinubu tells tribunal. Shettima validly nominated as running mate. APC, Atiku, PDP can't query president-elect's qualification. That is the leading story. And still a follow-up to that on The Nation. We have presidential poll most credible in Nigeria's history. Observers reports rate Beavers high, say Keyamo others. From The Nation, we are on to Vanguard. Vanguard also has similar story. Presidential poll, APC PDP fight over validity of ADCOM. Presidential poll, APC PDP fight over validity of ADCOM. Why APC's electoral victory must not stand, PDP PCC. Says judiciary is on trial, must save Nigeria. Tinubu's victory reflects will of Nigerians, APC. Says Atiku, we didn't supply beavers to INEC. Acts whipping up settlements won't help PDP's case. That is on the pending election petition tribunal cases.
So, from the report we are hearing, a firework has started.
Of course.
Because all the petition that the two opposition party, Labour Party and PDP have, so it's what the president-elect tribunal team, lawyers team now replying them on each of the count charges.
Yes.
But the one that I'm expecting them to also look at is the one that's okay. There's whether there's overvoting or there's rigging or there's violence of election. Most of them, in their reply to the petition now, they have not talked about that. And that is the strong point of the opposition party in Nigeria. So if they can work strongly on the issue of violence, and work strongly on the issue of rigging, and work strongly on the issue of overvoting or whatever they have pointed out, which the Electoral Act is against, that's where they can have a better stand in the tribunal. You can also see that the issue of forfeiture of 460 drug baron, whatever, and the tribunal, all this will not sail through because they have pre-election issues that doesn't concern the tribunal. And also look at the issue that PDP is also saying that APC supply beavers to INEC. They're also looking at that one, and tribunal will not be able to look at it. So the key point is that we can now understand the angle that the APC team is coming from, countering some of the prayers of the opposition party. And one by one, they are pointing into them. Meanwhile, the other one that are more stronger for the opposition party, they have not been counted. They didn't talk about there was no violence, they didn't talk about there was no rigging, and they didn't talk about there was no overvoting. And this is where the opposition party must rely on to prove their case.
I think didn't they put it in their petition?
It is there. I'm just pointing out
Okay,
that look at the ones that they have been able to puncture in their prayer. They have been able to puncture the issue of drug baron of 460. They're going to puncture the issue whereby PDP is talking about that it was APC that supplied beavers. They've been able to also puncture the issue of around the qualification of the president-elect and his vice. They have been able to puncture all this. But the one that is more stronger, that will be more difficult to puncture, is the issue of violence, the issue of rigging, and the issue of overvoting, which the Electoral Act is actually against. So if the opposition party understand and their legal team understand this perspective that the APC are coming to be able to treat the matter well. But if they still go back and be bringing these frivolous issues, they will still continue to punish them, and they will waste the time of the court if they continue to
I
punish
think
this
that was what
particular
my guest just said yesterday, that the tribunal will not really have so much time. And the same still on this election tribunal issue is what Daily Sun also led it. It said 25% FCT votes not needed to win presidency. INEC test tribunal, it can declare winner without recourse to Rivers electronic transmission orders. And that's another issue.
And that is the angle of INEC, because
that is his own angle, because they are not constitution expert to tell us what is needed. Exactly. I think that issue will also be addressed at the Supreme Court.
That one definitely on the issue of 25% will go to the Supreme Court. But tribunal will overlook that aspect, because it doesn't. You only look at the main thing about electoral clause, electoral tribunal, what the electoral tribunal is talking about, declaration of winner, and the processes of declaring the winner, as well as the process of arranging the results. But when it now comes to about the 25% is Supreme Court, and that's why INEC is already making it available to us that on this aspect to our know deep. But when it gets to the Supreme Court, definitely it can be a look at it will also justify whether it's right or it's wrong on that aspect.
So when do you think the tribunal is going to sit?
I think they are starting any moment from less than, they say, yes, 12 days from now. Yes, after 12 days from now, it will commence and it will run through for the next, from the tribunal to the appeal. Everything is 150 days. The tribunal is about 60, then you go to the appeal, then from appeal, then you end up at the Supreme Court. That is how it's going.
So give or take towards this April
ending. Definitely, we will start hearing. To know the issue of the prayers will be taken one after the other, and they will trash it out.
Okay. Thank you so much. Without wasting time, let's move over to the Punch. The Punch has a different story today on its cover. It also has similar picture like leadership and the nation on this cover, and that is the collapse of that 7-story building in Banana Island yesterday. Well, the cover says CBN Forest ban. Nigerians imported 18 trillion naira cooking oil, meet orders in 7 years. CBN Forest ban. Nigerians imported 18 trillion naira cooking oil, meet orders in 7 years, according to reports. Importers ordered agri animal products, orders from Asian, EU, African countries. Firms source dollars at parallel market over CBN Forest ban on 41 items. And the story is also similar to what leadership is also saying on his white paper. It says focus on tax, reduce debts. IMF tests Nigerian government. And that's what this day also has on his above his masthead. Again, IMF urges Nigeria to increase tax, reduce borrowing, emphasis targeted subsidies for health education sectors.
You know, on the we should quickly respond on the issue of tax. You know, this is how the same advocacy came up before the VAT was increased to 7%. We're all seeing the effect right now. And now they are suggesting to us that instead of us to borrow, why don't we increase our tax? But one thing that IMF have not put on the tax burden in Nigeria is not on the rich. It doesn't. The rich transmit the tax burden to the poor. And again, and the caliber of state actors that we have in Nigeria, they are very, very cruel. Sorry for using that word. They are very crafty in a sense that if they are going to implement what IMF is saying now, they are going to devise a tax policy that will exclude them and impose it on the poor. And that's what will happen. Don't be surprised that this tax burden will come on education, it will come on transportation, it will come on several other things that the poor normally have as a means of surviving on daily basis. Meanwhile, the rich will escape some of these tax burden. And even if it's going to affect the rich, they will do it in a way that it is the poor that will pay the taxes on behalf of the rich. And that's what they don't understand. The fact that we are paying today, it is the poor that is paying the fact. We are going to consuming all the consumables.
Because they spread it
to us. So, in as much as we want to take the advice, we must look critically in a way that it must be a balanced tax policy that both the rich and the poor are the one bearing it, not just for the poor alone to bear. Although they are suggesting that at the end of the day, there should be a subsidy for health, there should be a subsidy for education, also subsidy for transportation. But we know that when subsidy comes in terms of government policy, it is still the rich that still enjoy the subsidy. And that's how it is. But we must be able to encourage that. In as much as I want to build some of this policy, we should make it a bottom top or top bottom arrangement that everybody feel the impact and everybody enjoy the benefit. And that's how it's supposed to be.
You know, you just mentioned that even when subsidy comes, it's still the rich that enjoy the subsidy. It did not reminded me of what somebody also conversed, an analyst. He said this few subsidies, the rich that even enjoys it, because the rich man has up to how many cars in his car. You just need them come and be filling at the reduced price at the filling station. Meanwhile, those ones at the bottom of the room, they have just one car. That is those that don't have cars. They have just one to feed for him and his family. Like the rich that has several. Exactly. Still the rich that enjoys this few subsidy.
And not only that they enjoy, they also enjoy the benefit that comes from it. The good roads that we are clamoring that we should have. We don't have good roads in the rural area. Where we have good roads are the urban centers. And it is the money from the subsidy that's supposed to be used to bring that development across the board. As it is today, these urban centers that are enjoying the road. Electricity that they push some of those money they generate for. It is also the urban center that enjoy transformer. If a politician bring a transformer today, it will only be for a segment of people. And look at Abuja Center, for example. Look at the kind of transformer they are using. It lasts for few, they can attach it to few houses. But the one that they will give to the poor, they will give hundreds of houses one transformer. Meanwhile, in the rich community like urban center in Abuja, you can see one transformer will have like 10, 15 houses. And that's how it is been strategically done. That's why you go to Metama, you can't hear that transformer blow or transformer get spoiled because they have enough transformer for themselves. But the poor, they don't have much to bear.
Interesting. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we have two other issues to be looking at. The living story on the Punch and of course the trending Peter Obi's detention. Let's call it detention. Being detained at
question
airport. Don't go away, just stay tuned.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Inside Nigeria, keeping you informed on what matters.
Welcome back to your number one breakfast show on television, Inside Nigeria. Well, before we went on a break, we are going to be talking about Peter Obi's questioning at Heathrow Airport. Many are saying that no, this is taking it too far, that Peter Obi has lived in the UK for several years. So why would the London immigration detain him when they can't get with all his substation? They cannot apprehend his impersonator yet. The person that you claim is being impersonated is the one that is being held for hours and greed, So what do you say to that?
I think it's quite unfortunate that this kind of
and of course many people have carried it today how Obi was detained at London airport for hours. Obi won't be deterred by UK immigration officials harassment. It's something that many people are making an issue of yesterday when the story broke as well on social media. Why this day said Labour Party, Obi's traducers trade him to UK, bent on implicating him. London immigration reveals former NABRA governor being impersonated. However, many people are also saying that maybe all the hours they kept him under grilling him for questioning. Maybe they were probably looking for what to hold him with. Unfortunately, they couldn't get. That is why they reluctantly let him go. But why do you see that?
But
Is there any motive to that?
Let me first say here that most times when
And the nation said how Obi was detained in London by aid, he was impersonated. I'm seeing a situation whereby somebody that is being impersonated is now being grilled and obviously questioned, why are you being impersonated?
It could happen, but let's first establish here that anytime any Western country is taking passport, the suspicion of trying as much as possible to find out the details about that person is always there. We have less stories whereby Nigerians will be detained with question particular issue. Now it is happening to our state actor. So why will it happen to someone that just participating in an election, a presidential candidate of a particular
party? And he
has
lived in your country for years.
Even have investment
in your years, substantial investment.
And again, I want to take it the way other people are taking it. You know, the West, when they want to do something, especially with the issue of impersonation coming out, does it mean that there is impersonation?
Exactly. Many people say that he's somebody that is well known. You cannot say that this is somebody that even your own times gave that gave doing polls that gave it to him that he will win. And he's not somebody that has been hidden. He has come to Chatham House
on several
occasions to speak. So now you are holding him and grilling him for questioning.
As I said earlier, I said the West, when they want to find out something, this issue of impersonation, did it really happen?
Yes, sir.
If they have found out that someone impersonates, and it could happen because you can't, the craziness of Nigerians about certain things to outdo even the original person can happen.
It's like
and we are known to be people that, sorry to say, apology for Nigerians, 419, craftiness. Somebody could impersonate him. Somebody could impersonate him and just try to use that to bypass normal protocol at the actual airport. But the key message is this: are they trying to find out something from him so that whoever that is impersonating him, they can now quickly arrest and put that in the pool? It could be an opportunity for the UK government to do that. Then the other angle is this: who are those travelers that are trying as much as possible to damage the image of this man outside the country? Is it part of the political trick or political intrigue that they want to throw? But for me, I believe that UK government will not participate, or we don't want to allow themselves to be used by local folks here. I mean, our local politicians to use them and to get to be into that kind of dirty games. I don't think that. But the issue of impersonation, the UK government will not take it lightly, because it could be something that will turn around and harm their government, harm their country, and also cause damage to people. So questioning him could be an opportunity for them to find out some things about him, so that the impersonation guy or whoever the kind of impersonation that they can get hold of him. That's how I see it. But on the other hand, that politicians here will want to use the government of UK to cause more problem for me, I don't think that will happen, because they will not play into the hands of our local politicians.
I sincerely hope so. Well, thank you. Let's talk on the leading story on the Punch, that Nigerians imported 18 trillion naira cooking oil meat orders in 7 years report.
I think the report is quite laudable in the sense that it has exposed us to certain things that we're not willing to meet. The issue, we should not take the report out of content that, okay, we are no, what they're trying to, the message is that our food security, our food sufficiency is not enough. That's why we are having this gulf of importation.
18 trillion naira.
Exactly, because
an average of give or take about 2.5
trillion every year. Now, what they are trying to say is this, what the message the report is trying to say is that in as much as we are investing much in farming, we have a lot of cow, we have a lot of means of generating a vegetable oil. It is never enough. So what should the government do? How can we tie the rope around an importation of this local? These are things that can be gotten locally. So what should we do? And that's why we have been hammering that the next government should look at how to ensure that there's power electricity, because power electricity is part and parcel of what will make industrialization of this particular thing come up. Is it cooking oil? Is it meat? And other things that are being imported from outside the country. About 41 items that CBN has banned. You mean they are still importing it? And why they are still importing
exactly.
it?
Exactly. How are they importing this? I was just coming to that. Have they not banned all these items?
They have banned it, but people will always find ways to import it. It could be through the border. But definitely, it may not be through the seaport, because if it is the seaport, CBN will definitely get into it, and the Nigerian immigration and custom will always see such things. But it could be through the border. It could be something that people bring in through what they call through the border porous border security that we have. I think that we mentioned that we have over 1,100 unmanned borders. It could be through that means that we are bringing. And if you check out most of these imported items, it is found in high-brown supermarket in the city center. You won't find some of this cooking oil in the local market. You won't find this meat in the Masaka market or in the Nyanya market. It is in choice supermarket where the rich, where the state actors go to and shop. Exactly, go and shop. You won't find them in the local, and they are mostly Western branded or Asian branded items. So it is from there you understand that it is not just things that we find in our local market, rather it is things that we found in high-brown supermarket in the city centers across Nigeria. So that's how I see.
So anyone that now that maybe that is why price of goods are also very, very expensive. Because that most of these forests were sourced from parallel market. Black market. It's usually higher.
Very high because they trade on unofficial prices. In the official market you can get 430, 450. But this one you can get it from 650 to 700, and it fluctuates based on the demand of those foreign currency that I said earlier. But the issue is that most of these items are items in our choice supermarket. You can't you can't take a imported cooking oil now to one local market and say, okay, sorry, who will buy it? They will tell you that they have their normal one that we cannot mention their brand here. Or if you say you bring an imported meat, and they say meat, when we have abattoir across everywhere. So which meat? Is it a meat that has been pampered with the eyes and all? Although we can talk of fish, we import fish, and there are fish that are regulated by the government. So that one is also part of what is being imported that the import is also talking about.
So is there an end to this import of these bad products?
There won't be an end. Is growing. If you remember what I said earlier, it's not because they are importing it for ceremonial purpose. It is because the one we have, it is not enough, and there is choice among us. The kind of cooking oil you use in your eye could be different from the one. You could prefer an imported one. I would say no, I prefer a local one. So also with our other colleagues that are here, everybody have a choice, including the meat. Even toothpick that we are using, you could be the one that is made in the Ijebu. You say no, you want the one that is made in China. Exactly.
Like the way you have one plastic
exactly.
So well designed.
Exactly. And there's one toothpick that is used is very bitter. And there's one that is used, see the sweetness of what you are coming out. So it's all about choice. So stopping importation of some of these things is not going to happen. Even in Western world, China, US, counterfight against importation, it won't work because it's part of global trading. But the issue we can say is that those ones that we know we can provide and produce sufficiently, let us see how we can do it, like meat and oil. Why importing it? We can get them
have when this issue of headers
are,
we have so many cows around.
Thousands of head cows.
2 days ago when I saw some cows walking around, I said, you see, these are meats that right under our nose. Then how come somebody says buying one for 300,000 naira?
Although it will also be different meat. No, when you say meat, it could also be pork meat, it could also be chicken meat, it could also be other meats of animal meat. So although they just categorize it meat. So it could not only be cow meat. It could also be other types of meat that other people eat as a result of their health implication or health status.
Well, thank you so much. Now, just before we go, we are talking about this $800 million loan that the federal government has taken. Has it not taken it?
They have taken
and that is going to repay it in 25 years. And that is more loan for Nigeria's future.
That loan is, according to the report, which I have also gone through, because I'm even writing my article on it, paying the 800 million naira. The issue is the money is like a juice given to us as a result of our strong head and our acceptance that we're going to do subsidy. Now, just like we discussed this last week, and I said this kind of money is going to go into different sector, and different group will always agitate for this particular money. Don't be surprised at the end of the day.
But the organized labor said they don't want the money, that they should do away with it. It's not money that they will collect at the end of the day and they will use. Organized labor, NECA,
and the rest of it. They know, because the lessons from the past one that was collected, they all know how that money was collected.
And with just about less than 50 days to go, of course you can imagine, they will want to just like hurry
and put everything in paper and distribute the money and everybody will get.
Half will go to personal profit.
And that is distribute the money now. That's the way of distributing.
As
They will
parting
distribute
gift to themselves.
exactly parting gift to themselves, and they'll just find some group and give them
And
so
give
that they
them
can
some,
keep quiet.
yes.
But we just hope that from the labor union and
You know, I was of the opinion that since they are already leaving, they should leave it for the next incoming administration.
definitely that's
to
what
do
will
their
happen.
time.
That's why you
Because
see.
they don't have more time. But fortunately, some persons will still, like you talk about, we go and convince Mr. President that no, we are the one that took this loan.
Mhm.
So it's left for us to actually account for it.
Account for it before they go.
Before
But
they
we can
go.
also rule out that the new government can also put a stop to it. Even if they are collected, it can ask them to come and bring back the one they have collected. They can put a stop to it and say, no, you have distributed all the people that are giving the money to, please bring it back. And let us check properly what this loan is meant for and the repayment mode. Because the repayment mode is saying 25 years. 25 years of how many percentage are we going to be paying per year before we get to that 25 years? Because it's very important. But Nigerians, we just hope that we can pay detailed attention. And before we go, what I'm trying to say about the labor union, the key thing is that we want refinery to refine the crude oil here. That is what the labor has been saying, not collecting loans.
There was so much money that the refineries have got, and then nothing has come out of it. They've not been able to refine even for domestic consumption.
The refinery.
You are still supporting them that more money should be allocated.
Not money located in refinery.
Okay, this
building
money
a
should
new
be-
one. I'm not
Okay,
even
building.
asking them to give them this money.
Okay.
We have been calling that refinery should work. Now, the Port Harcourt refinery is in refurbishment right now, and they have been shifting the goalpost.
Exactly.
What the government of the current government promised was they're going to build refinery in 2 years, and they
Yes,
promised 4,
yes,
and they are
every 2
going.
years, and they are
But they are
not-
dashing us 800
Not
million.
even a single one
Mhm.
was built. So, any last word as we leave?
The last word is for this 800 million, leave it for the next government to advocate or to address.
Because we have seen issues of this some of this subsidy money.
Mhm.
We also, I mentioned the other last time too about Abacha's money,
But exactly.
how it was shared. It
Mhm.
was shared haphazardly.
Mhm.
I even saw some people, close person, that was, send your account details, so they are sharing money. CBN is sharing money to some banks, and they are sharing money. You now said, okay, are you sure how authentic? It's authentic because it's Abacha's money. That was
Exactly what they were saying.
the conditions that was given. I should be shared to the poor. And at the end of the day, in that same bread, the persons will say, oh, they are going to sell 100, but you are going to return 60,000. That's 40,000 for you. But the person that
The arranger.
the arranger said every person is going to return 60,000. And I was like, he will take the largest share of the
Chunk
money
of the
that
money.
bears my name.
Name. So when EFCC come,
One, I just said, no, I'm not interested.
No, don't.
And meanwhile, I asked again, did you receive? She didn't receive. She that even said that she was up for it. Well, this is where we end today's Inside Nigeria. Don't forget, same time, same station is another day. And Thursday, every Thursday, I always look forward to having my in-house guest at Deponari. Thank you so much once again.
thanks for having me.
So until I come your way again, I'm Winifred Webo. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.